Hey guys, I have a 20-gallon tank here and it's time to do a water change. If you're looking to get into fish hobby and fish tank hobby, then stay tuned. I'm gonna show some of the things I use to maintain this fish tank on a weekly basis. So this is the 20-gallon top fin fish tank. It basically came with pretty much everything you need, but the bubbler you see at the towards the back is something I purchased separately, so that wasn't included. But some of the things you need that also you're gonna have to buy separately is a bucket and a stress coat. I use the API. I would recommend whatever brand you use from the in the beginning, just stick to it. So these are the two things I use. And then you will need a water test kit depending on if you have freshwater or saltwater fish, and then a container and a siphon. So the first thing I like to do is stir up the water that's in here. So anything that's sitting on the floor like that right there, and then back there that you see right there, you want to stir that up so your filter can pick it up. I usually let the filter run while I remove like a 5-gallon. Since this fish tank is 20 gallons, you do want to do like 1/4 of the water change. So if you have 100-gallon, for example, 100-gallon fish tank, then you want to do 20 gallons. In my case, since it's 20 gallons, I usually do 5-gallon water changes every week. So, and then I have about 6 cardinal fishes, and then the 4 glow tetras in here. And once a month I also change the filter. I have one of those hang on filters, you call them. And then you will also notice that I have a towel right on the side of that, because I have sunlight that in the evening that kind of, you see the gap right there, it comes through that gap right there behind that from the curtain, and then which is not good. If you have sunlight, direct sunlight hitting your fish tank, then you're gonna have a lot of algae problem. I did have fluvial strata gravel in my fish tank, but I for some reason was having brown algae issues, and I don't think it was because of that. It was probably most likely because of this food right here, which I stopped giving the fish. And I think this was the reason, because it's been like maybe 2 months since I removed the gravel and then changed the water, and haven't had any type of algae issues so far. So basically what I'm giving the fishes now is this food right here, which is the Tetra Min. It's flakes. So this is what I've been feeding the fish, and so far haven't had any issues with algae ever since. So I believe it was this food right here that was causing the brown algae issue in the fish tank. So I'm gonna show you guys a trick to get the water started without any hassle. It's pretty quick and easy. And I'm gonna pause the video because I'm gonna have to take out the cover at the top and remove this towel, and I'll show you guys in a second. Okay guys, so I have the top cover off to the side. By the way, this cover did come with the fish tank, and so did this filter. And this water heater that's sitting back there also came with it. I have a bunch of things sitting on it, so but once you're when you're shopping for it, if you look at the 20 gallon from Top Fin that has the starter package, you're gonna get this, and also the fishnet was also included in there. So now I'm gonna show you guys how to start the siphon. It's pretty easy. First thing you want to do is make sure the bucket is well below the fish tank, like so. And then you're gonna take your funnel, and then you're gonna fill it up like this first. So, and then you're gonna pick it up, and then once the water starts flowing, you're gonna dip it back in quickly. And as you can see, the funnel is started already, and it's getting the water. I'm gonna stop the funnel because I do want to stir up the water a little bit so I can get all those things that are at the bottom all flowing. First I'm gonna pick it up, and then whatever I don't see, because typically there's some things that get that's laying behind the bubbler, and if I don't stir up the water, it just sits there. And you don't want to do that, because that's gonna, over time, that's gonna be a food for the algae, and then you're gonna have green algae issues. So you don't want to do that. But for now, I'm gonna start the funnel one more time. I'm gonna lift it up, and I see the water. You can see in the pipe, it's flowing right there. So now I'm just gonna vacuum this up from the ground. Let me zoom in for you guys. There we go. Now when I do gravel these, the fish sometimes think that there's food, so they'll come up to the funnel pipe. So just be careful not to hit the fish accidentally. So, and then do keep an eye on your bucket, because sometimes if you're checking the bucket, it fills up pretty quickly. So you want to be careful, you're keeping an eye on your bucket so it doesn't overflow and go all over your floor. One thing I do is this mat is pretty soft, so I put that down, and I put my bucket on top of that so I don't damage the hardwood floor. So that's my weekly water change I do. And then so once I'm done siphoning the water, I'll show you guys how I prepare the new water and what I do next. And I will also show you why I have this container here and what I use it for. So give me 1 minute and I'll be right back. All right guys, so here it is. I siphoned all the stuff from the bottom of the fish tank, and I didn't fill it up all the way because over the week, like, some of the water does evaporate. So what I do is I don't fill it up all the way. I do leave room for more water, so that way when I put it in my fish tank, the water is filled all the way up to the level I prefer again, right? So now what I'm gonna do is dump out this water and then fill it up with new water, and then I'll show you guys how I put in the API products in the water. Alright guys, so I got the water dumped out, and so now what I need to do is I need to put in quick start. So basically this one, since I am doing like a 5 gallon, so per the instructions, if you're adding I'm sorry. So add 10 ml per 10 US gallon. So basically what that means is for every gallon, you're gonna use 1 ml, right? So since I have 5-gallon bucket, I already pre-filled it to the 5 ml level. So I'll put that in like so. And then the next thing is the stress coat from API. So let me dump this in before I tell you guys about this one. So for this one, it says that add 10 ml per 10 US gallon. So since I have a 5-gallon bucket, I just make that half, right? So half of 5 ml is 2.5. So you just eyeball where you see the first line at the top is 10 ml, the second one right below it is 5 ml. So you kind of eyeball right there in the middle. And if you get a little bit more, that's fine. Make sure you don't do less. So it kind of makes your water safe for the fishes, because you know you do get chlorine and chloramines. Sorry if I mispronounced this, but you know, your heavy metals and all of that, it kind of makes it safe for the fishes, because if you don't do this step, your fishes are gonna get stressed out and their fins are gonna get damaged, and eventually they're gonna leave this world. So you don't want that. So anytime you change water or anything, I do recommend both of these products to make your water safe for your fishes, and so they can enjoy your fish tank as much as you enjoy your fish tank. So now what I'm gonna do is fill up this bucket, and then I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna put it right by the fish tank. And you wanna wait 1 hour. And the reason why you wanna do this is you want the water in here to be the same temperature as your fish tank water. If you don't do that and then you put it in right away, the temperature difference is something like the fishes I have, the Tetra fishes, they're very sensitive. So they do not like that sudden change in the water temperature, and it shocks them, and then same thing happens, they leave this world, because they just don't appreciate the sudden change like that. So it's really important before you guys purchase your fish, please do a thorough research as to like what those fishes are. Are they saltwater fish, freshwater fish, what is needed to take care of them, what kind of fish mates or fish tank mates they can have. Some fishes do not get along, so you don't want to put them in together. So do your due diligence, do the research, take your time. Another thing is, if you're setting up a new fish tank, don't bring the fish right away. You want to wait for the fish tank to cycle through for at least a week, and then buy your fishes. And then once you do have to acclimate them to the new water. So you would buy the fishes, then you would put them into the water in your fish tank and leave them again for an hour, right? So that way the water temperature can be the same in the fish tank and in your fish tank bag that they give you. So, and then the other thing that, before I forget, is the bucket that I showed you by the fish tank, the little container. That's when I'm done, when I'm getting ready when I'm getting ready to put the water into the fish tank. You don't want to dump this whole bucket in. It's gonna cause the water to like shift around too much, and then might hurt the fishes. So that's what I do is I take the bucket, I take the cup, and then take the water one by one. So at least make this bucket like to a level that's like not too much water left in there. And that's when I pick this bucket in and then slowly dump in the rest of the water. So that's what that little bucket, the cup was for. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the fish tank or related to freshwater fishes, because that's what I have, please leave them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer those questions. Please do like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so when I post new videos, you guys will be notified right away. Thank you. Bye-bye.